At Microsoft, you're not only dealing with bringing product to market, it's an engineering-led company, obviously. You're also dealing with the competition. So it's not so much what we do, that's just one component of it, but also what Apple, Google, Samsung are doing as well. So everything's done in context. So brand strategy is something I've been in for about 2 months. However, you could say every creative is a strategist to some extent. I've managed a digital group within Microsoft that we grew from nothing to 18 just about overnight. And that was focusing on Windows, and then I've also worked on product development and looking into the future, be it a year, 3 years or more, and what should we challenge the engineers to bring to market to serve what we think will be the consumer needs. I left school a little early. I got a job from a great agency in Los Angeles, so a partner and myself drove out with air mattresses in our parents' cars that we borrowed and made it work for very little money right out of school. But I pretty quickly realized that what I wanted to do was be in the creative department. Most proud, I think, would be the New York Times, and my partner Jan Jacobs and I did a campaign. It was a print campaign for them for the world right after 9/11. We did a campaign in response to 9/11 where we used Norman Rockwell imagery showing with slight alterations how the world had changed and how America needed to ask certain questions and perhaps reevaluate our place in the world and what was causing others to do what had unfolded, or why would people react the way they would. So it was a campaign we really didn't want to do because that wasn't a time for advertising. We all knew people who had lost folks in the tragedy, so it was a campaign we did with a hell of a lot of trepidation and a lot of rounds. But when we did it, we also started to get emails from all over the world saying that you've handled that campaign in a beautiful way and it strikes just the right balance. And I think that was about as gratifying as it could get. Like I said, it's been 18 months of the most learning I've ever had in that period, which has been incredible, and that's been joining an engineering-led company, and I don't think there's any better way to learn about technology than to be immersed in it. Apple has the love of the people, and I've been out of college for 20 years and had nothing but Apple products before I went to Microsoft, and then bought a Windows phone and realized that it's got beautiful Swiss design. The challenge in getting people to give Microsoft and the Windows ecosystem a chance, because all of us with our daily lives, we're so tethered to, if you're a Mac person or an Android Chrome person or a Windows person, it's just really, really difficult to switch. So I think figuring out ways to provoke people to put it in their consideration set, and then let the products win whatever product is winning based on its own merits. And I'm really excited about some of the things that we'll be launching in 2015. So just in a few short months, I really think that our products have never been better. And I think with the acquisition of Nokia, they've never been better looking. When Windows 10 comes out, I think that'll have a little piece of me in it, just like everybody else that's worked on it. And then it's incredible to say that you actually worked on a product that has global reach and is really, truly going to help people do more of what they want to do. So we're toying with the phrase "do great things" as a line for Windows 10, and I believe in it. I think it's a tool. Bill Gates always said Windows was a tool for doing, and something that helps people with initiative accomplish whatever they want to do. So I think that's probably going to be my greatest success at Microsoft, just being able in some incredibly small part to influence that product. In terms of polishing skills, I think, like we talked about before, one is reading, and that could be new authors, that could be just being voracious. The New York Times has been one constant. I love reading that. I think it's well written, and as a writer, one of the things you need to do is seek out great writing yourself. You need to be reading it, but you also need to actually be putting pen to paper or hammering away at a keyboard. You can't just not write and then expect to do it well. I also still subscribe to probably 10 to 15 magazines, so skimming through them over coffee or tea and then tearing stuff out, pulling that aside to look at more in depth later, that's kind of sort of the start of my idea files. We're paid and paid handsomely to be creative, so part of that is resilience. I never think my job's going to be easy, and I've never been wrong. They're just different challenges. That's been how I've been overcoming challenges within Microsoft, just figuring out what people's personal hang-ups may be or what their comfort level is, and then trying to show them that what we're trying to do will not only benefit them, but also has a place because some other clients are taking similar risks or showing initiative or trying to be proactive. There's salesmanship, but I think if it comes from a sense of conviction, that's certainly appreciated. Whenever you can teach somebody as you're selling something, I think that goes a long way, and that makes any future conversation easier. It's always about solving problems. It's always about building relationships with the folks that you're serving, trying to help them meet whatever needs they have. It's been difficult in that it's an engineering culture, and it's a very questioning culture, and it's one that would like to test, and that's not necessarily the best way to do breakthrough creative. But I think everybody I've brought in, they've taken it as a chance to really work in a unique environment where we are doing some wonderful things and really improving the technology that billions of people use. So they kind of take the difficulties as growing pains.